Have you ever hung up the phone with your adult child and felt that quiet ache of frustration right behind your smile? Maybe they brushed off your advice again, or asked a favor that stretched you too thin. You wanted to speak up, but instead you said the safest word you knew, "I'm fine." That tiny phrase feels like calm. But it isn't calm, it's camouflage. It's the word that quietly teaches your child to tune you out, to take your feelings less seriously, to assume you always mean yes. It doesn't happen in one dramatic argument. It happens in hundreds of polite conversations where honesty gets replaced with habit. Pause for a second. How many times this week have you said that word? If it's more than 3, this story might be for you. You worked so hard raising them. You earned their regard through decades of care. But once both sides are adults, that respect must be re-earned through a new kind of truth, one that says, "My feelings matter too." Communication at this stage isn't about keeping the peace. It's about rebuilding respect through courage, not comfort. Something shifts quietly when your child becomes a full-fledged adult. They start forming their own identity, and their brain chemistry actually supports that independence. By their 30s, the human brain is wired to assert autonomy, to resist control. What once sounded like loving advice can now feel like an intrusion. That's why the same words that comforted a teenager can trigger guilt or distance in a grown child. Research from family psychology shows that the words you use in your child's early adulthood predict relationship quality 20 years later. That means your tone today shapes how close you'll be decades from now. When you downplay your own needs, they subconsciously learn to downplay you. If mom says she's fine, they think she must really be fine. Meanwhile, you're quietly hurting, longing for connection. That invisible gap widens each year. Not from lack of love, but from mismatched honesty. Here's the truth few parents hear. Adult children don't respond to authority. They respond to authenticity. When communication stays stuck in the old habit of smoothing things over, the relationship becomes uneven. They speak freely. You walk on eggshells. If you're watching this thinking, "My daughter never calls anymore," this pattern might be why. Many seniors confuse peace with silence, but silence breeds distance. Real peace comes from mutual recognition, the sense that both voices matter. And that can't happen when one voice keeps minimizing its truth with one small word that waves everything away. That word is fine. It seems harmless, the go-to answer for keeping things calm. "I'm fine." It's fine. We're fine. But for an adult child, fine doesn't mean calm. It means, "I don't trust you with my real feelings." Over time, it becomes white noise, a shield that blocks curiosity and empathy. When you say fine, you think you're diffusing tension. Yet your child hears distance. It tells them you're closing the door instead of opening it. And respect can't exist behind a closed door. Real respect grows when both sides risk being genuine, even when it's uncomfortable. Here's one phrase that changes everything. "That's not easy for me." Hold on to that thought. We'll come back to it. But first, let's see why it works. Stay with me. This next part explains why that last conversation went sideways. Fine is a psychological act of minimization. It signals that your feelings aren't important enough to express. You think you're keeping peace, but to the listener, it creates confusion. Your eyes say hurt. Your mouth says peace. The brain detects that mismatch instantly and registers it as tension. Therapists call this incongruence, when words and emotions don't align. It's one of the fastest ways to make another person feel unsafe or frustrated. Adult children respond to that unease with defensiveness, not empathy. They change the topic, rationalize, shut down. They're not being cruel, they're reacting to the discomfort of mixed signals. Each fine robs both of you of a repair moment. No conversation. No resolution. Just another thin layer of pretense. Eventually they start treating you as fragile. They tiptoe around truth. And ironically, that protection fuels disrespect. When people feel they can't be honest without breaking you, they stop being honest at all. The bond turns cautious instead of connected. If you just had an aha moment about your last talk, you're not alone. Think of fine as an emotional sedative. It numbs pain but delays healing. It keeps distance, not peace. And inside, both of you sense something missing, the trust that honesty builds. Now remember, the brain loves predictability. When your child hears fine, they disengage. They think all good and move on. Meanwhile, resentment quietly grows, yours and theirs. That cycle can last for decades, unless one person decides to tell the truth. If you're still with me, you're about to hear 3 phrases that rebuild respect, and true stories showing how fast this can turn around. Let's look at how good intentions go wrong. Helen, 72, told her daughter, "I'm fine," every Sunday. Her daughter sensed distance, assumed she'd done something wrong, and called less often. Richard, 68, said it when his son showed him the new apartment. His son heard disappointment, not support, and went home thinking, "Dad's never satisfied." Maria, 74, said it to her grandkids to avoid burdening them. Her granddaughter later whispered, "We never know what's really happening with Grandma. She says she's fine, but she sounds lonely." Which story feels closest to yours, Helen, Richard, or Maria? Each one meant well. Each one used fine to protect someone they loved. But that word built a wall no one could see. When we hold back truth to keep harmony, we trade real peace for polite distance. Our families learn to stop asking. To stay safe, they stay shallow. Respect isn't built by pretending everything's all right. It's sustained by small, truthful exchanges that honor mutual dignity. Replace fine with honesty, and you redefine what closeness means, not constant cheerfulness, but mutual presence. That's where love matures. Have you noticed your adult child pulling away? Type distance in the comments. You're not alone, and your story matters. So how do you reconnect without confrontation? Here are 3 phrases that restore balance. Pick one that feels natural. That's your starting point. Phrase 1. That's not easy for me. Simple, truthful, and powerful. It shows vulnerability without guilt. I don't love this decision, but I trust you'll handle it. Love plus respect. In one breath. Phrase 2. I appreciate you asking. When they check in, are you lonely? Need anything? Don't dismiss it. Say, I appreciate you asking. Some days are harder than others. You've told the truth and affirmed their care. That balance builds emotional safety. Phrase 3. Let's talk about this another time. Use it when the discussion heats up. Fine shuts it down with dishonesty. This one ends it with grace. It says, I see the tension, and I choose calm clarity. All 3 share a single principle, honest control. They let you speak truth without drama. Communication experts call this assertive transparency, truth without accusation or apology. It helps your children see you as calm, wise, and emotionally strong. When your words match your heart, everyone relaxes. There's nothing to decode. And clarity always breeds respect. The key isn't talking more, it's speaking cleaner. Fewer words. Higher truth. Practice in small moments first. A missed call, a mild irritation, a forgotten visit. That's how trust rebuilds, one honest sentence at a time. If this resonates, subscribe to Senior Life. Every week we share gentle, real-world scripts that heal family bonds, one conversation at a time. Respect at this stage of life isn't demanded, it's demonstrated. Every truthful word teaches your children how to love you and how to age with grace themselves. When they see you trade fine for clarity, they learn that love can coexist with honesty. That peace doesn't require silence. This is your quiet legacy, not control, not compliance, but courage. The courage to stay real. The families who remain close across decades aren't the ones who avoid conflict. They're the ones who keep talking gently, even when it's uncomfortable. Small Wins Framework. Start small. Choose one phrase this week. Use it once. Watch what changes. Then come back and tell us what happened. Your story might help someone else take that same brave step. So next time you feel "I'm fine" rising in your throat, pause. Replace it with something true. You'll feel the difference. And so will they. Real respect isn't something you demand. It's something you radiate, one honest sentence at a time. Your free guide with 15 more phrases is linked below. And if holidays with adult children sometimes turn tense, watch the next video. How to stay kind when the conversation turns sharp. You'll walk away with peace that lasts long after the call ends.